This is it. Opening day, the regular season is set to begin, and we're thrilled to bring you all the live action right here on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, joined by Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. The crowd here in anticipation of their home team Spurs in an interconference battle here at the AT&T Center in San Antonio. Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. Harkless is out there with Rab. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Then there's Stephen Curry. And it's Felicio in at the 5 down low. Screen by Bogut. Shot clock at 6. And Chris, it must be fun for you watching two teams who look for a lot of their offense in the low block.
I mean, there's a real art to being on that low block. If you think about it, you can facilitate just like a point guard. All you have to do is just be dominant down there. When you do that, you'll cause a double team. Your height, your position, where you are on the floor, you can see over other players, and you can find that open man. It's like playing the point guard, just from a different position. So
it's physical, but there is a lot of nuance to it as well, correct?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely physical. Much more physical than being out top of that front of the key. But if you can handle it correctly, that means you have more space, you can be more efficient, use less dribbles, and also now with the way that players play and their skill set, they space the floor so much, so it's harder for a player to get to you and help. And if a player does commit to you with that help, that means you can find an open man and make the defense pay.
Caldwell-Pope kicks to Curry. Shot from the wing. No good there. So the Spurs will take it the other way. Simmons with it. Screen by Bogut. Deflects the pass. Back to Butler. Pass to Bogut. 5 to shoot. Passes it to Anunoby. Second shot opportunity. He can't hit that time. Caldwell-Pope with some nice D. And here is Curry. Curry with another miss. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. LaVine wide open. Once again off the mark by San Antonio.
Not getting anything to fall here early. 4 straight misses to start the game.
Here's Rab. Fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
The Bulls have been very active in revamping this roster. A lot of trades and player movement. They were worried of becoming a treadmill team.
Left side, Butler. Screen by Bogut. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
Oh, after falling short on their first 4 shots, they got one to go, and now they're 1 for 5 from the field.
Outside Curry. Takes the 3. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3. With some lackluster finishes to their season the last couple years, that worry of finishing poorly isn't going away for Bulls fans. But luckily, the Bulls have a history, Chris, of shaking things up.
It's never easy to make that choice. The front office has been proactive in shaking things up. Not easy, but they're committed to change right now.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
And I love it, Greg. Both sides inflicting damage from the perimeter. We'll see how the defense is adjusting.
Again, Curry missing.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it. Kaminsky, he's checked in for San Antonio. Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Outside, Levine. Feeds to Simmons. Can't hit the turnaround jumper.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Now here's Curry. Felicio. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Oh, how about the deft touch right there, guys?
He just guided that ball back up and in. Just a fingertip touch on the ball. Caldwell Pope against Butler. It's Caldwell Pope with the drive. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
Oh, man, a sneaky rebounder. Curry can surprise you on the offensive glass.
Pass to Anunoby. The dish now to Simmons. Kick out to Levine. Butler from outside. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Now Curry. He's got 5. Caldwell Pope outside. The pass to Felicio. And it's blocked.
And despite the short wingspan for a big man, Kaminsky with the height and timing to still block shots.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard. And how about the bounce pass? They are being used to perfection.
Caldwell Pope pass to Rab. Over Simmons. Rab, that's good. Rab's got 5 points so far.
That's a tough size matchup there, and he takes advantage of it from mid-range.
There's the feed to Kaminsky. Back to Levine. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Levine's got his second basket.
They lean on him for a big portion of their scoring with a good reason.
Back to Caldwell Pope. There's the pick. Lets it go with a 3. Curry can't get it to go.
So he's having a tough go at it so far this quarter. Not much dropping for him.
And Simmons kicks to Levine. Pass to Anunoby. Just 5 on the clock. San Antonio needs to get off a shot here. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
And don't forget about the good hand-eye coordination. I mean, he almost corralled it in for the steal.
McDermott's checked in for San Antonio. And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Well, we know that some players can get pretty tricky out on the court, and that is the diplomatic way of saying it, Chris. Which players do you feel kind of take advantage sometimes of the rules?
Well, and I think, you know, these are the guys that you would hate to play against, but you want to play with. And, you know, first people that come to mind are the Draymond Greens, the Matt Barnes, Steven Adams, just because he's physical. Even Chris Paul, the way that he stays on the refs, the way that if you reach on him while he's trying to steal the ball, he'll grab your wrist and let you know don't do that again because it really hurts what he's doing to you. So there's so many players that do that, and the wiser, the smarter, the longer in the game that you play, the more of those tricks you'll be able to pull out, all those veteran tricks. So those guys come to mind.
Now here's Green. It's deflected. And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. Outside Curry. Pulls from the top of the key.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Levine against Curry. Outside, Levine. 6 on the shot clock. Drills the three-pointer. Kaminsky's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
This guy is able to consistently knock down threes. Kaminsky is a tough cover on the perimeter, especially because if you close out too hard, he can counter by attacking you off the dribble.
And the officials call over the back, a little too aggressive there.
Yeah, pretty obvious over the back call there, but being out of position, that was really the only option.
He went for it. I'll give him that. Showing some fight on the boards, even if it's not the smartest play in the world.
Teodosic is checked in for Levine. Here's Butler. Again, the Spurs good for 2. Chicago trailing here. There's a good screen. Curry dishes to Green. Here's Rab, guarded by Simmons. Trying to get back on track. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Rab's got 7 points in the game. Kicks it to McDermott. He dishes it to Simmons. Just 5 to shoot. That's tipped. Curry with it. Now defended by McDermott. Looking to end his cold spell. Green, the pass to Curry. Shot from the top of the key. He scores for only his 3rd time tonight. Now 3 for 10, taking a climb out of the hole.
Look, we talk about how Curry can score from anywhere. That's an easy shot for him, mid-range.
McDermott with the screen for Simmons. He kicks it to McDermott. Pulls up on the wing. Another one falls for San Antonio.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Now here's Caldwell Pope. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Curry on the wing. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. He's got 9.
You know, that's the thing about Curry. He gets so much defensive attention. I mean, it doesn't even faze him anymore.
Passes it to Teodosic. McDermott kicks to Simmons. Back to McDermott. Here's the 3. Steph Curry with the rebound.
And they have a narrow edge here in rebounding early on, and you wonder what kind of a role that's going to play moving forward.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. The Spurs offense, one of the most efficient in the NBA. It's all predicated, Greg, on motion.
And it's ball movement and player movement. They kind of want to warp the defense and force mistakes, and that's when they strike.
Some changes for Chicago. Swanigan, he's checked in for Rab. Felton comes in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Napier in for Steph Curry. Now, here's Felton. Pass to Pat. Here's Swanigan. Right side, Green. Shoots over McDermott. And again, no good by Chicago. And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. And the Spurs, Greg, one of the best defensive teams in the league for 2 seasons running.
And it's really all about execution. They seem to just move in concert and stay connected. No silly fouls. And with their length, nothing easy inside.
Spurs trail by 3. There's a screen. Dishes it to Simmons. Not going to fall. Starting off slow, he misses his first 3 from the floor.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
Here's Swanigan. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Swanigan's got his first points in this one.
He's developed a nice in-between game. The D gave him way too much cushion.
Simmons. He's just scored his first basket with that shot, making him 1 for 4.
Now that time, the defender may have played Kaminsky to pick and pop, but Kaminsky held his ground, therefore the effective screen.
Gets it to go from beyond the arc. And the Bulls lead by 6. Here's Teodosic. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Outside Butler. Chalk up 2 there. Butler's got 9.
And Butler just too tough to contain. Incredible at keeping his focus even when the D is all over.
And that does it for the first quarter. Now the second quarter getting ready to start. So for Chicago right now, Napier is out there with Felton. Then there's Green, and it's Swanigan in at the 4. And Justin Holiday picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Here's Napier. That one doesn't drop. Now San Antonio takes it the other way. Outside Holiday. There's the pass to Teodosic. Clock at 6. Fires top of the key. They get the rebound. Right wing. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Back to McDermott. He feeds it to Noah. Here's Teodosic. Good, and a nice assist from Noah. Teodosic has got the first basket of the second quarter for San Antonio. To the middle. It's tipped. Here's Napier. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Pass to Swanigan. Shot from 12. The rebound by Noah. San Antonio trailing here. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Spurs' Greg Popovich talked about developing players. He said, our method is usually tough love. I don't think coddling works, and beating them to death mentally doesn't work either. You give them a clear picture of what's demanded, show care, understand what makes them tick. If that doesn't get through, you get rid of them. Kevin?
And the military background of Popovich plays a part in this way of thinking, David. It's why the Spurs have been so successful for so many years. Teodosic, the pass to Noah. Second chance shot. And the basket good. A bank shot that time. Noah's got the lead up to 1 now for San Antonio. As we all know, Greg, a season to forget last year for Joakim Noah.
Ended up only playing in just over half the games due to a knee injury. Glad to see Noah back out on the floor, and he's looking to kind of put last season behind him and get a fresh start.
Here's Teodosic. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
Solid pick to create that opening. A soft touch on the jump.
Passes it to Patton. Feeds it to Green. And just miss after miss right now.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Noah the screen. Pass to Bielitsa. Inside. One-on-one fast break. Got a piece of it. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. McDermott kicks to Bielitsa. 5 to shoot. The kick out to Holiday. The dish to McDermott. And there's the pass to Teodosic. And Holiday has it in the corner. And the 3-ball is good. And it's a 6-point Spurs lead.
Yeah, you look at this run they're on, and you have to give a lot of credit to their effort on the glass.
And the wide open shot from Green.
Timeout.
It's good on the putback.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And the NBA game is evolving, Chris. You know that. And if you were starting back at square one, say, and trying to develop your skills to prepare yourself for a pro career, is there anything you do differently to prepare yourself for how the game is being played now?
That's a great question. You know, I remember playing in Washington, and I shot over like 35% from the three-point line, and I remember in the paper they were saying, you know, we don't need big fellas to do that. So I got right back in the post, and so the game has changed so much. And so I would really say that I would balance the work that I did in the post with outside of the post. I would just make sure that I would continue to stretch the floor as far as three-pointers, to give guys room to drive. And I would have definitely continued to work on my ball handling, maybe where a picker could have screened for me, and then I could have been the initiator, since in most times I was kind of that point forward. But for the most part, no, I would have tried to put the same effort in, but definitely with different skill sets. You get to play differently now. You know, when we think about it, I don't think Larry Bird got to shoot 2 3-pointers a game. Imagine if he would have got to just let 7 go. You know, I don't know what we would ask him, except would you have to ice your wrist after games a little bit more, because you would be able to shoot more. So I think the freedom would have been fun, but I don't think I would have had to prepare any differently.
Butler is screen on Curry. Here's Levine. That one rolling around and rims out.
I don't care who it is. You can't leave him wide open from that range.
Outside for Curry. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. 12 points for Steph Curry.
You know what? Teams are 100% focused on Steph defensively, yet he still creates space beyond the arc.
They get it back. Noah. And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line. The Spurs shooting their first foul shot of the night.
And as a team, excellent a season ago, about 80% when they got to the line. And how about that quiet confidence with which Noah plays, a long, skilled defender who also chips in occasionally on the offensive end.
And Simmons kicks to Levine. Here's Butler. And the call will be against Joakim Noah. That's his first foul. Last outing for the Bulls, it was a loss to Indiana. Curry dishes to Felton. Pass to Swanigan. Got a piece of it. Pass to Patton. Here's Green. It's deflected.
And don't forget about the long reach that Simmons possesses. He uses it exceptionally well on defense to come away with blocks like that.
Chicago shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
Once he gets into a groove like that, you can just count him.
Simmons, a screen on Curry. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Noah. The Spurs making a switch here. Kaminsky's checked in. Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Well, the Bulls last year were just dreadful from deep. I mean, they were one of the worst three-point percentages in the league. They just didn't have enough consistent shooters to spread the floor.
Chicago's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. And Chris, for the Bulls last season, they knew shooting from distance would be an issue for them. At least it was something they tried to avoid.
Well, you can't have success without having a deep threat or two. Bulls learned that the hard way last season. With a completely revamped roster, they hope for better results from outside.
Here's on an open. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And that one's good, Simmons. And the Spurs lead by 2.
Really like watching Simmons go to work down low with his length and strength. There aren't many guys that can keep up with him.
Now here's Caldwell Pope. Not enough on that one as it misses. Now here's Simmons. Out left to the wing. Here's Kaminsky. Buries the long-range jumper. Now it's a 5-point San Antonio lead.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
In the corner, it's Felicio. And he dunks it down.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Outside Curry. Over Butler. No good off the front iron.
Their stroke has not been what they needed it to be, but looks like they're going to keep going to him.
And Simmons kicks to Levine. Back to Simmons. Clock at 6. That's good, and it's Levine with the assist. Simmons got the lead up to 6 now for the Spurs. Caldwell Pope on the wing. Over Levine. That shot by Caldwell Pope, no good. Spurs leading by 6. Outside, Simmons. The feed to Butler. Over Caldwell Pope. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. Oh, Chicago's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Pass to Rab. Uncovered. Second shot opportunity.
Timeout.
San Antonio calls timeout.
Yeah, just hitting the reset button, a chance to kind of talk some things over.
And the chance to draw up a great play. I mean, this is a chess match at work.
And Chris, you were the #1 overall draft pick back in 1993. We've seen a lot of greats taken with that pick, but it also seems that those #1 picks who aren't as successful face a lot of pressure, a lot of criticism. There's a lot on your plate to handle. Can you talk about that for us?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure for some players being the #1 pick. But I've always laughed and I've thought about, players that maybe people say maybe they were a bust, maybe this player wasn't good. Well, I think you should go back and look at the GM that picked them. I mean, the GM is the guy that assesses talent, So
Right.
when there were a few players that were picked number one, and many players said, "What are you doing? We've played against him. We would never pick him number one." So before that, I think the NBA is about opportunity and situation. Look at a guy like Chauncey Billups. He went to Boston. He didn't do well at Boston. They called him a malcontent, said he couldn't play, and then he ended up being one of the best leaders that the game had. And so this game is all about situation and opportunity. Can you find the right fit? That's why if you're a player, you can't let frustration get to you. You have to continue to work hard, continue to prove your game, because when you play, you're auditioning for the other teams in the league as well. They're saying, wait a minute, we see his unique talent, skills, and we see his unique skill set, and we could use him. And so many times you just have to wait for the right position, the right situation.
Now here is Holiday. And the pass to Teodosic. Kicks it to McDermott. Pass to Teodosic. Back to McDermott. Puts up a three. A rebound by Rab. Rab's got 4 rebounds in this game. They set the pick. Harkless on the wing. The putback. San Antonio with the rebound. They can look forward to the American Airlines Center after this game. They'll match up against Dallas. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Yeah, coming off of a good pick, you want to get that when he gets the separation he needs. I know he would love to have that one back.
Curry, good.
What great footwork coming off the screen. Part of why Curry's always in a position to shoot.
The wide open look here for Holiday. That misses, and the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Spurs lead by 4. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter. Bulls trail by 4. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the court right now for the Spurs, Simmons is out there with Bogut. Then it's Zach LaVine. Then there's Jimmy Butler. And it's Anunoby in the 3 spot.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
LaVine kicks to Butler. It's good. That basket, he's now 5 for 9.
And the versatility of Butler, just impressive. Solid at finding ways to get inside and finish at the rim.
Now here's Caldwell Pope. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Butler with the steal. He dishes it to LaVine. It's deflected. Simmons with it. Guarded now by Harkless. And Simmons kicks to Butler. Add basket number 6 to his stat sheet. He's now 6 for 10.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
Passes to Felicio. Pass to Rapp. They set the pick. Over Simmons. San Antonio with the rebound. Simmons got his 3rd rebound on the night.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.